will return to the Etihad on Wednesday when they come up against sixth place Nottingham Forest, who, they've been one of the surprise packages in the Premier League this season, haven't they? They beat
Yeah.
Ipswich 1-0 at home at the weekend. They kept the fifth clean sheet of the season. Only Liverpool and United have kept more than them, and I know that Liverpool have actually conceded fewer goals in the Premier League than Forest, 13 so far this season. They've been really strong defensively, and they've been good going forward as well. I think I remember, Stephen, a few weeks ago, we spoke about this fixture, and you said that this could be a real banana skin for
Dreaded
City.
it.
And obviously we know how important it is for City to win this one, but how big of a challenge is it going to be for City on Wednesday?
Honestly, if you could make up a team, this is like the exact kind of team I don't want City to play right now because as they everything City aren't right now. They all know exactly what they're doing. They are incredibly structured, incredibly hardworking, and have so much pace, and they've got individual quality, and they're just such a reliable team. And the only sort of saving grace is at the Etihad, but that could also feed into the anxiety because it's going to be a cold. I don't know what the weather's like on Wednesday, but I presume right now in the northwest it's just grim and cold and
Yeah.
wet. So I presume it'll be the same. Like, I mean, I look at that side and it just knows what it's doing. Chris Wood is such a reliable goal scorer, one of the most underrated goal scorers in the league. You got the pace out wide of, Aina and Hudson-Odoi. I don't know if Alanga's fit right now, but in general, yeah, he is, yeah. Then you've got, Nico Williams, and then Milinkovic and Murillo are so good. Like Milinkovic, he could head the ball all day. He's just such a warrior and such a leader. And Murillo's a little bit calmer on the ball, and Gibbs White has so much quality and he's got a good physicality. They can run through us in the middle, and I suspect they will. But then they can run through us out wide as well. So they're going to be structured. They're very happy to sit deep. They're very, very happy to sit deep and then use their pace out wide. And it feels like you look around the Premier League right now. And so many sides have just such a good, strong core with really, really good runners out wide. There's so many very good wingers in the Premier League right now. Reminds me of when we played Bournemouth and Semenyo gave us such a run around, and he's a Champions League level quality player in my opinion. He really is, and that sounds dramatic, but I think they're littered throughout the Premier League, all these quality players, and Hudson-Odoi is another. Like he's a really high quality winger, and then the fullbacks have got so much energy and pace. And look, Forest are going to give us an absolute nightmare. Like, it doesn't mean City can't find a way to beat them. And I'm very curious to see what Guardiola tried because there was actually some hints at potential plans in the Liverpool game. He talked about Grealish maybe playing centrally, which is something I actually wanted to see for a long time. Because when you think of City's problems right now in midfield, physicality, pace, we're losing the ball too much. Confidence. Grealish is big. He's strong. He keeps the ball. He's got good recovery pace, and he works hard defensively. And I'm actually curious to see if that would be a change that could work. But yeah, um, Forest is going to be an absolute nightmare. It's going to be really difficult. It doesn't mean City can't get something from it, but they are such a stubborn side. They're so stubborn. And City right now, creatively, we're not making much. You never know what City side's going to turn up because you just never know who's going to be fit. I don't know if De Bruyne is ever going to start a game of football again for Man City. I hope he does. I don't know if Savinho Doku will be ready to start or if Grealish will start. But I hope they are because I did think City looked a little bit more threatening when the wingers came on the pitch. I think Doku didn't offer much, but he offered a lot in terms of ideas and invention. His final ball wasn't there, but we were clearly much more threatening when he was on the pitch. Likewise, Savinho. So I'm hoping with some changes and some return of fitness that City can do something, but Forest is going to be so difficult, man. It's going to be so hard.
Yeah, I think anything you mentioned Doku there, yeah, he sort of provided that injection of pace and energy in the
Yeah,
second half. He didn't really have much of an end product, I guess, but that, and hopefully Savinho can do the same if he plays against Forest on the right, just offer that threat on the wings, which they lacked against Liverpool.
yeah, of course, yeah,
And you mentioned Grealish there, yeah, Guardiola's mentioned that he could play centrally now. I think he's sort of suggested that he can help the team with a greater amount of control and possession and, providing those passes into the final third. Yeah, but I think it'd be interesting for Grealish. I think he did it a little bit at Villa before he joined City, and
yeah.
he did it as well for England. I think he played in the number 10 under Lee Carsley
It was
earlier
good as
this
well. Yeah,
season. Yeah, so he's shown it before, and yeah, he might be able to play in that role. I like the fact that, Grealish is someone who's great at drawing fouls, isn't he? He just knows where
yeah,
to position himself, and I think he obviously does that a lot on the left and maybe wins fouls out wide. But if you can do that centrally, in and around the box, get some dangerous free kicks or even in the box and win penalties, that could become a threat for City. Someone like that. being that
I
sort
think
of
it's worth
threat.
a go. I really do.
Yeah,
I think there's Grealish is always better when there's people around him, and I think he's always looked better when it's very rare occasions we've had someone overlap Grealish. I think he's looked more confident, and that just doesn't happen enough at City. And in this instance, if he's playing as a left-sided eight, then it's gonna happen. You know, Doku will be to the left of him, or Vardy will be pushing forward, and I don't know if he's going to be the solution, but it sounds wild to say this, but anything currently is better than what City have got. Bernardo and Gundogan are dead on their feet, you know, and Foden's form is dipped. You know, De Bruyne can't get on the pitch, but I'd be fascinated to see if Grealish can bring something a little bit there because he will work hard and he does have much more physicality than our current midfield options. Um, and right now we've got very little to lose, we really have, because you know I think Forest is a good place to try it at home because at home you know there's a comfortability to that and a reassurance and yeah, I'll be curious to see how it goes. I don't think it's going to be the solution, but I think it's worth a go. And the fact to me, the fact that Pep's going to give that a go suggests that right now he's thinking outside the box a little bit. And let's be honest, Gundogan, I love the guy, but his form's been so poor, so poor. He can't keep up with it with the pace of the league right now. And Bernardo's just played too much football.